Hey, Gio. Mate, it's Aussie Villain. The doctor said you weren't feeling good. What's going on, mate? Nosebleeds, dizziness, nausea. Oh, mate, you've got altitude sickness. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. It'll pass really quickly. Yeah, mate, there's no way you're going to be top of the championship for long. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. We are at the San Marino Grand Prix, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and we have Drivers' Championship leading Antonio Giovinazzi in the car. We are only 12 points off leading the Constructors' Championship as well. And this is huge. This is magnificent. I'm really enjoying it. And we haven't got any new parts on the car necessarily, but what we do have is two cars that have the same parts on them. You can see we have, with the exception of underfloor, we'll just get a couple of those getting built. We have more or less replenished our stocks of everything. We could do with a chassis as well. We're already building one, so that's good. Hopefully no crashes, and today if we can do that, then we should be well and truly back on track as well. And there's not a great deal else that we need to update you on, I don't believe. So let's go and have a look at what we're doing for the race. It is another wet race. Unbelievable. It's a alternative qualifying allocation weekend, so that means hard Q1, medium Q2, and soft for Q3. Yeah, so that's that. Circuit map, we can see red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. When it comes to qualifying, there is the ins and outs of the track. And I do love Imola, I've got to say. Not a great one to watch, but a good one to drive. Top speed and medium speed, high speed corners is what the car needs. And it is a big loss on pit time because it's just the length of the pit lane, I think, as much as anything. So you don't want to be making extra stops. This isn't necessarily going to matter, the expected strategies, because as we've just seen, it's going to rain during the race. So yeah, that is all that. And Perez won here last year, Alonso in season 1 for us. So what are our performance targets? Reach Q2, let's hope so. We've got 2 of the last 3 pole positions. We've won 2 of the last 3 races as well. Let's go and get a fastest lap. If we have 2 cars in the top 6, which is a bit of a requirement, I think, for Ferrari in Italy, isn't it? And we need 1 car in the top 6 for finishing to get those bonuses. So that is that. Let's head ourselves off to San Marino and see what we can do. So, moderate rain, which is what it was in Miami, and that didn't work out too badly for us if Norris had got out of the way like he should have. But anyway, I'm going to do some free practice, and I will see you for the alternative qualifying momentarily. Alright, so we've done free practice, and again, a little bit of a mixed bag. You know, FP1, we can see the results there. It's a bit of, you know, jumbled up. Everybody's got a car in the top 10 almost, it seems like, including ourselves with Mick in 8th. Giovinazzi down there in 16th, only on a hard tyre though, and our engine parts are getting a little bit older at this point as well. Denny Rick topped FP2, which was maybe a surprise. We were a little bit further down again, Mick in 11th and Gio down there in 19th. And then FP3, K-Mag topped it in the Aston Martin, Mick was 6th. And then if we go down, Giovinazzi in 13th, but Verstappen all the way down in 15th. Absolutely loving the jumbled up order of this season. Never have any idea of what to expect. So let's go to qualifying and see what we get. Alright, now this is the alternate qualifying, of course, which means we're on a hard tyre for the first session. So I think what we'll do, Giovinazzi's going to go top, and Mick is coming across the line momentarily, and he is about 3/10 off. So we'll just sort of sit here and have a bit of a chat, I suppose, and yeah, and just sort of see how the sessions play out. Yeah, I mean, what did we all think of the opening round of the championship? Didn't really get a chance to discuss it in the first race. Wasn't great, was it? Wasn't great. Bit of chaos at Red Bull, though. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah, it's from what you hear, I do wonder a little bit, and you know, it's come out that, well, from what I've seen, a little bits that I've seen without kind of digging in for it. Do we need to send Mick out again? We'll wait and see what happens with these other lap times. We might need to. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is me being cynical perhaps as well. I think we will send Mick out again. Is Mercedes wants Verstappen, and this is a way to get him out of the contract. And I wonder too if there's, you know, all the contract clauses about you know, people leaving if people leave kind of thing. I wonder if Mick's been held up there. I wonder if oh, he's gone fourth anyway. I wonder if there's a way that Mercedes is going to go and get Adrian Newey as well. If Horner leaves, that means that Newey can leave, and yeah, Verstappen and Newey both end up at Mercedes. That would not surprise me at all. But anyway, we've got out of that quite comfortably, 5th and 7th. So we'll go on to the medium tyre. Alright, now we do have 2 medium tyres available to us. Now my plan was to come back for the second run, but we're 1st and 3rd. And there is a little bit of a gap. You know, if you look back to 11th, which is actually what would put us in trouble, it's you know, 3/4 of a second. It's half a second now, but I don't think we need to go out. I think we keep ourselves a medium tyre. The problem with the, not problem, but with the rains, we don't know what is going to, when the rain's going to come. Are we going to need a medium tyre? And if we can get a brand new one, it might just give it that little bit of extra, you know, lap or two that we might need in the race. So we're going to top this session, 1st and 3rd, and just did the 1 run as well. So we're looking very, very strong heading into Q3 here on the soft tyre. Alright, so we are coming back for the second run on our a brand new set of soft tyres. Both cars had 2 new sets. Giovinazzi is topped by a 10th. Mick, don't understand what happened to him. There was no traffic on his lap that I noticed anyway. I was looking at Giovinazzi, to be honest, but Giovinazzi didn't have traffic, so I don't see where Mick would have. I suppose he has just made a mistake somewhere. Now, Mick has gone faster through the first sector. Giovinazzi has not. And let's see, is anybody else doing quicker laps here? Sainz is a danger. Mick is a danger here as well. Now he will be picking up a little bit of a draft here. Now whether that's been a good thing all the way around the lap, I don't know. Giovinazzi has perhaps feathered his time. Mick goes top. Oh, but Sainz ruins the All Ferrari front row at Imola. But we'll take it, won't we? 1st and 3rd on the grid. Mick, the only one to go sub 112. And he stuck it on pole by doing that. And we're the Red Bulls. So we've got 5th and 7th for them. And who's the other one? It's Mercedes, isn't it? So Sainz is quick. Perez maybe less so. Let's go and do this race. Alright. When are we expecting rain? When are we expecting rain? So not till the end. And it's probably an Inter, isn't it? So alright. We're going to need another stint because it's not going to get there on you could maybe get there on a hard tyre, but it's a long pit stop here though, isn't it? It's a very, very long pit lane. No. I mean, do you want to risk it? Compared to, do we have 2 soft tyres? If we have 2 soft tyres, judging by that, maybe we don't. Yeah, I do wonder if you're going to be quicker and better off doing it this way. So let's do that. There is a big part of me that really does wonder if you do a hard and then an Inter. I mean, you wouldn't want to be on an Inter before then, would you? It's the absolute earliest, and it just about gets you there. Some people are going to try it, aren't they? I'm not convinced it's the quickest way to do it, though. I'm just not convinced it's the quickest way to do it. So I don't think we will. Alright, welcome back, and here we go. Big thank you to all my Patreon and channel members, just scrolling across the bottom there. If you do enjoy the channel, want to support what I do, then links are in the description to do that. But yes, not expected, just watch the ads. If that's your preferred method, that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to watch the ads, no way to stop making use. Don't do that either. Alright, now let's have a quick look here at tyres. Is anybody... Yeah, so it's roughly 50-50, isn't it? People that are going to try and get there, and people who aren't. Now, if we're on the soft tyre, you can see Giovinazzi, the difference between having to use a set that was done in qualifying and not. Mick is going to get an extra 2 laps out of his soft tyre, so that is the benefit to having that. But what we do want to try and do is, given that we have to make a stop, and it was about 24 seconds, I think the loss was, then we're going to want to try and you know, just sprint as far away as we can. Now, guys on hard, what we want is we want Magnussen and Ocon, for, you know, specifically, because they've got a couple of soft tyre cars behind them as well. We want them to be the little block in the road here for us. And hopefully, let's go neutral here, neutral, so we don't use it up on the entrance here. Or exit of that corner, I should say. Can we go and get an overtake done? Giovinazzi, not always the most convincing. But Mick, if he keeps going, is going to break the DRS. We've got a yellow flag. And it is Ricciardo running wide. So there's no point burning through Giovinazzi's tyres here, because what's going to happen is the DRS is going to bring, you know, it's going to keep Sainz with him, even if he does manage to get past. And it looks as though he is going to go with us in the front of, in terms of Mick here as well. He stayed in the DRS of him. So yeah, we'll see where we go from here. The rain comes right at the end, so there's a long way to go between now and then. And yeah, well, we've already almost left Stroll behind in fourth, and he was on a soft tyre. So the pace looks good. Let's hope we keep it out of the wall and out of the grass. And yeah, Sainz is having a bit of a go now, it looks like, doesn't he? But he'll be eating his tyres to do this, I would have thought. Alright, so it is kind of just status quo at the front. Not much has changed. Sainz has had a couple of looks at Mick, but he's been fine. Verstappen, though, has got past, and you can see he did a purple first sector. So he will, I suspect, be trying to catch this train of cars anyway. But the gap, you can see it's 4.5 seconds, and Verstappen has then got a little bit more, given that Verstappen is stopping. It's the gap to the hard tyre runners that we're really worried about. This is sort of what Sainz has been doing, just having annoying looks, but not really ever threatening. And Stroll is still there with us as well. What sort of lap time did Verstappen do? So he was, yeah, significantly quicker than us. But yeah, it's absolutely fine. If he wants to try and catch us and burn through his soft tyres to do so, then that's not a problem. And yeah, Mick is just sort of controlling things. He's not blocking, he's just driving his race. And yeah, Sainz looks like he may have had a go and has failed. And yeah, he's going to, I guess, be recharging the battery at this point. So we might even be able to sneak Giovinazzi past him. But yeah, I'm comfortable with how this is looking. The gap to the first of the hard tyre runners, which is now Magnussen, is 7 seconds in 12 laps. Ideally, it'd be a little bit more than that, but he's kind of matching our lap times now as well, which isn't ideal. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be faster in the, you know, when the rain is coming, they're going to be on those really, really old hard tyres. We'll be on much newer medium tyres. So we'll see. We'll see what we get, but this is a little bit close for my comfort. Anyway, it's going fine. Alright, so a few developments. Stroll, as you could just see there, has spun. So that drops him off of our tails. Now, Giovinazzi is currently, well, he's burnt his battery, unfortunately, and let Sainz back past. He is coming in this lap. Now, we had to kind of we had to get Mick out of the way, basically, so that he could try and build the gap before he stopped, because he is coming in before. Now, we haven't quite got ourselves back to within DRS yet of Sainz. So we'll try and get ourselves back up to him. A safety car now would be brilliant, but doesn't look like we're quite going to get that. And Mick is a couple of laps away yet from his stop, but he has got back into the DRS of Sainz now. So here comes Giovinazzi. We'll get an idea of where we're going to come back out. Russell's already stopped. Did Stroll? Stroll must have stopped as well. So we're going to be towards the back. And now this is why it's such a long stop, because it's this little extra bit at the end. But we are looking at the 2.8 second stop, by the way. Not bad. Oh, if we could have got those two not come out in front of us, that would have been much better. But here we are. Not much we can do about it. Now, that's a soft tyre for Leclerc in the AlphaTauri. So he'll be coming in shortly. And ideally we want to get this Haas out of the way as well, don't we? So we do have quite a bit of extra tyre life. Mick will be coming in this lap. So that's absolutely fine. He can do a full push lap. And yeah, we need Giovinazzi. Has he got him done there? He has, just about. Verstappen has come in the pits. Now we need to get this move done as well. So well done to Gio. He's made pretty quick work of that. And he's got 2 seconds up the road now to Ricciardo. Mick, here he comes. Let's see what he's got for us. We'll go and stick him on harvest coming into the pit lane. I'm never sure if you actually do harvest any extra, but I figure you're on the brakes. You should harvest some extra, shouldn't you? So it was 2.8 for Gio. Can they do better than that? 3.1, not ideal, but we'll take it. And let's see where this is going to bring out Mick now. Hopefully, as Giovinazzi does the fastest lap of the race, we have come out ahead of those other two. So that is actually quite good. That's worked out nicely for us. And Giovinazzi, has he already caught Ricciardo and De Vries? Well, De Vries is the block here, isn't he? Now this is a hard tyre on Ricciardo. We can already see that. And I suspect De Vries might be on a hard tyre as well. Norris is coming to the pits. Alright. This needs to be an overtake here, please. Can we get it done? Ricciardo having the DRS is not going to help. And Mick is not that far behind us. What sort of tyres is De Vries on here? So yeah, these are all hard. Where essentially we are at the front of everybody where we want to be. And we've got to try and find our way through. Because these is basically now, with the exception of Sainz, I'd say, everybody is running to the rain. So this is genuinely for position on the track. Here comes Sainz into the pits now. I imagine he's going to put on a soft tyre. Rather than go medium. Let's have a look and see what he comes out with. He is behind both of us, so that's good. And he is on a soft. So he's going to be quick. There is, unfortunately, not too many ways around that. Let's see if we can get Mick now past these two, as hopefully Giovinazzi will start to drive off into the distance. We are 16 and 18 seconds off the lead right now. I would be not surprised if we were quick enough to get back to the front before the rain. I certainly hope so, or else I've done the wrong thing in terms of strategy. So there comes in the... So some of the hard tyre runners are stopping now. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Alright, now we are visibly faster than these guys. We've got Mick right behind Gio now. And the hard tyre runners are actually coming into the pits, which is... I mean, I don't understand why you would start on a hard if you are going to stop. Now, yes, they're going to put on a soft, but I mean, even Sainz has caught it as well on a soft. And he is doing 15s. So he's doing a good lap. We were doing 16s before we caught this traffic. But this is Tsunoda in front. Perez is currently leading on a hard tyre. You would imagine what we've got to be a little bit careful of here with Mick is getting mugged off by Sainz while we're trying to get past Albon here. But yeah, you would imagine that, I mean, these guys at this point will be going to the end. Otherwise, you've already lost out because you're on a hard tyre chugging around in 18s while everybody else is doing 16s on a soft. So it's too late now, really. As Schumacher overtakes Albon. I thought that was the yellow flag. There's one. Let's go and get Tsunoda now. We'll even use up some battery to try and do this and just get it done. Come on. Come on, Gio. Bit of battery out of there. That should be that done. Maybe we should have waited to the straight, but that's fine. And then again, we just want to try and get this done down the straight, although he will have DRS, but we should be much, much quicker. Go and use your tyres, Mick. Get it done. Get it done. We'll use a bit of Geo tyre as well. We do have a little bit of extra, so... And that should be that. Well done, Mick. And yeah, we've got 9 seconds now to Perez out in front. It looks as though... Yeah, he's 2 seconds slower than us. It looks as though we're going to hit the rain first and second. And yeah, so we'll see how we go there. It also looks like Mick's about to go cruising past Gio, doesn't it? Which is only fair, really, given that we did let let Gio pass to try and do his best, get his best strategy, you know, because he was coming in first. So that's all good. We will hopefully catch Perez and get to the rain first and second. Alright, we have caught Perez very, very quickly. We're going to try and just ERS past him with Giovinazzi there. That should be that done. And then Mick will be right behind him, and we'll try and get him past as well. Then that'll be first and second. Now, Sainz is currently behind us on the soft, as is Norris. Verstappen's on a medium, I think, isn't he? Yeah, so the guys that started on a hard, Perez is maybe the exception where it might kind of work out for him. But yeah, the others, it's not going to happen. They are they're on the wrong tyre at this point. They are, like I say, seconds a lap slower. 16s to 17s, 18s for Tsunoda, high 17s. So yeah, it's anybody that's that's doing that is either on a hard or stuck behind somebody who's on a hard. Everybody else is low 16s or 15s, occasionally 16s. It looks like is the general pace now. So Mick does need to get this done. Perez is not going to have DRS this time around, though. You can see the chance of rain is slowly going up, so it's not too far away now. And I imagine Perez is going to let Sainz by pretty quickly, so Mick needs to try and get himself down the road as quickly as possible. But first and second it is for Ferrari. We're going, of course, for 3 wins out of 4 races. And the other question we've got to ask ourselves as well is Giovinazzi's currently leading the championship, of course, isn't he? Is he our horse that we back here? Even though Mick is, I think, quite clearly at this point the quicker of the two. He is a little ways back. We are 4 minutes away from the rain as well. So I think we do maybe now just start going. Yeah, there's a big part of me that wonders, it's still early in the season, is Mick actually our better chance of winning the championship, or given that he is a fair way behind because of that DNF he had, essentially his non-point scoring race in Baku, do we need to stick with Giovinazzi? Yeah, I mean, if this is the last lap of the race and look at a decision to make, it's not going to be an easy one, is it? That's for sure. Alright, so the rain has started. Mick is currently in front now. We're using this opportunity to charge up Giovinazzi's battery a little bit. Obviously using the DRS just to sort of pull himself, as you can see here, back along at the end of the straight. So that's going to come into his benefit later on. So we'll see how that goes. Got to keep a very, very close eye on this. Do we bring somebody in this lap? Or risk a double stack next lap? Which is I don't think that's a risk we can take. Alright, so Giovinazzi is going to come in this lap onto the Inter. And Mick will come in when is the sort of the ideal time. I think Mick might get away with another lap, but I don't want to risk a double stack at all. And in out 2.7 seconds. That is a very nice stop. And in fact, yeah, Mick is. It's going to be roughly the right time for him. I think it's not a long lap in terms of time. And Giovinazzi has come out in third with a fully charged battery. Only just behind Ocon, who is yet to stop. And of course, everybody will. Did I call him in this lap? Well, that would have been bad, wouldn't it? Hopefully it's not too late. No, it's not. Jesus Christ, what a daydream that would have been.
Slippery track reported, pit exit.
Alright, nice quick one.
Copy.
No. No, not at all. Well, that's going to make it interesting on pit exit, isn't it? Because I think Giovinazzi is going to get in quite comfortably in the end. And the pits have come back to haunt Mick again. And he's only just got out, a second or so ahead of Carlos Sainz. So that has not worked out for Mick at all, and it was down more to the pit stop than anything else. I guess we won't really know. We did a 21. We'll see what everybody does, although you can't really compare it now because the track is that much wetter again, isn't it? But Giovinazzi did a 19, so okay, and the track is that much wetter. So yeah, although that was coming into the pits, we'd have to look at sector times, and I'm not going to do that, mostly because I don't know how. But Sainz is all over the back of him. I think now maybe we do look to defend and try and keep Sainz behind us. There is no DRS anymore, so we don't have to worry about that down the straight. And we've got, about 20 laps to go in the rain. And we've got Giovinazzi ahead of Mick, ahead of Sainz. And I guess if we go off board, they're all kind of right there, aren't they? So, yeah, game on. All right, now Mick has caught the back of Giovinazzi. I am coming to the conclusion here, I think. We can see we're about to catch Guan Yu Zhou as well to lap him. I think what I'm going to do is allow Mick to go past to win the race, because Giovinazzi's going to extend his lead in the championship no matter what, because second, obviously, he's going to be above everybody else that's behind him, except for Mick. And what it's going to allow Mick to do, obviously, is start to close that gap back up so that we can have two drivers that, as close to the top as possible. So it's not maximizing Giovinazzi's result, and it's certainly not putting all our eggs in the Giovinazzi basket, but it's certainly through the series so far, with maybe the exception of parts of Season 1, Mick appears to be the faster driver. Now, the dream, obviously, would be to win the Drivers' Championship with an Italian in a Ferrari, when that would be Giovinazzi. But I don't think we can quite, we don't pick and choose things too much here, do we? So, yeah, let's see. Now, there is a slight concern. Norris and Verstappen are quick. Sainz, you can see the gap to Sainz is, well, 6 seconds till Norris got past him. I don't think with 10 laps to go that Norris is going to be able to close in on us now. And what we don't need to do, of course, is throw away a 1-2 here. And this is almost reminiscent, actually, of the Melbourne race, isn't it? Where we're more or less just sort of cruising around at this point. We're getting very close to a dry track. I don't think we are expecting some more rain. It wasn't supposed to go to a dry track. And I think you'd stay out on Inters until it really got to the point where we wouldn't have to be the first to make that decision anyway, would we? It would be very much, if everybody else is doing it, then we can do it and make sure. It is going to go dry, though. And make sure that, we don't get caught out that way, but we can definitely react at this point. And let's see if it is starting to rain again, it looks like. Is Mick going to get a move done? This is not really what we need at this point, and if I see Mick go flying off into the back of Giovinazzi, I'm going to scream and probably cry, because this is a huge result in the Constructors for us, and given as well that Norris is in third, so he's taking points away from Mercedes and Red Bull as well. And Russell's down there in 15th. What is happening with George Russell in a Red Bull this season? I don't think any of us were expecting that from him. But, yeah, we've got under 10 laps to go now. And it's, yeah, like I say, a little bit of a cruise to victory. I am just going to let them race, though, with obviously the caveat, whatever you do, don't crash into each other, because I might sack them both if that happens. Alright, so part of letting them race, it's I think it's the same lap that I left you last time. They both had a little bit of battery. Giovinazzi had more battery, so I thought it was only fair to let them use the battery and just kind of see what happens. Now, Giovinazzi's not got that much clear with his extra battery life, so that hasn't really resolved the battle either way, has it? To be honest. But they've both got the same battery now, so we'll just save it. And yeah, I thought maybe Giovinazzi might get more of a lap and be able to push himself clear, but yeah, that wasn't to be. So we're kind of where we are. I mean, do we call this off? If Mick can't get the move done, we're fairly comfortably first and second. Norris is not really making any inroads to us. There's a big argument to say that needs to be kicked right now, isn't there? Maybe we do just need to do that and just bring home the 1-2 at this point. Because there's no point crashing into each other, is there? There's no point racing each other and ruining it for everybody. We've just got to finish at this point. There's only 4 laps to go. Alright, so we have started the final lap. I've just told Mick just to back off, basically, at this point. I'm fairly confident that he is the quicker driver, but I think because they're in the same cars, he doesn't have the extra pace to be able to get past him. So yeah, it's unfortunate because it was ultimately a pit error by the pit crew, that the bad stop that he got that put him behind Giovinazzi. But when it comes down to it, he was behind him. There was no point really fighting things here, was it? So here we go. Giovinazzi in Italy wins for Ferrari. Mick comes across to finish second. It is a Ferrari 1-2. It is a public holiday in Italy tomorrow, isn't it? And, well, Verstappen's going to finish 5th. We've got Perez in 7th. And this is going to do wonders for both championships.
Taking it back.
So there we go. Mick down 1. Giovinazzi up 2 from 3rd. Norris up 10. What a drive from him. Sainz was down 2. Bottas. That might be the first points for Alfa Romeo this season, is it? And Gasly there as well. And the big losers were Stroll down 7. Russell down 10. Yeah, difficult to know exactly what happened there. So the drivers, look at that. Giovinazzi, 22 points clear of Max Verstappen. That brings Mick back up into 5th. He's a long way back of Giovinazzi, though, isn't he? So, I think... I mean, we don't want to force it. We're not going to tell Mick to... We're not going to do, like, a reverse Barrichello Michael Schumacher. We're not going to just get Mick out of the way all the time. If he's fairly in front, he can win a race. But I think if we find ourselves in a situation like we did just then, maybe we do just need to back Gio on this occasion. And there we go. Top of the Constructors' standings, up 2 to now be 13 points clear. And was it the first points for Alfa Romeo? No, they already had a couple. So there we go. That is huge. Any pit stop points? Still no pit stop points. We'll get there one day, boys. And yeah, there we go. That is, yeah, 2.5 seconds. He was, or 2 seconds off of our best. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Giovinazzi got some good stops. Mick did not. But from a team's perspective, we got pole, we got the win, we got second. The only thing we didn't get was fastest lap. So that is huge. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. It is Monaco. We better be good qualifying there because, well, we know from... Although, to be fair, actually Monaco in the game is not too bad. You can actually overtake, and two-stop strategy has in the past, I think we've seen, been maybe the way to go. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that front. But anyway, guys, I'll see you for that one. Giovinazzi, let me know in the comments. Is he going to win the World Drivers' Championship? Is Ferrari going to be Constructors' Champions? We didn't expect that this season, did we? Take care.